Hey everyone, welcome to Stack Genius Coder YouTube channel. In this video, I'm gonna make you understand the concept of bubble sort algorithm. In previous video, we have seen quicksort algorithm. If you want to watch that video, the link is available in the description. You can click and watch that video. Let's dive into the video. This is the picture for the bubble sort algorithm. We have 5 steps in the bubble sort algorithm. Step 1 is start with the first element of the array. If you have unsorted array, you need to start from the first element. In our case, 7 is the first element. The second step is compare the current element with the next element, which means we need to compare the current element, which is 7, we need to compare with next element, which is 6. Step 3, if the current element is greater than the next element, swap them. In our case, 7 is greater than 6. So we need to swap both elements. In this array, you can see swapped elements 6, 7. In fourth step, move to the next pair of elements and repeat step 2 and 3. Now we need to compare the 7 and 4. 7 is greater than 4. So we need to swap them. In this array, we need to do the 2 and 3. 7 is greater than 3. So we need to swap them. Okay, finally we will get 6, 4, 3, 7. In step 5, continue this process until no more swaps are needed, indicating that the array is sorted. So again we need to go and take the first element. We need to compare them and we need to do the same thing whatever we have done in the first iteration. Okay. Once all the elements are sorted, then we will get the final output. Okay, now let's see the implementation in the programming way. This is our unsorted array which we are going to sort. In bubble sort, we have 5 steps. We can implement one by one. If you see this array, we have 6 elements in the array. So the first thing is we need to loop all the elements. So that I'm using the for loop statement. For loop, which is array.length, arr.length. Basically the array will start from 0 index, so the I value is 0 and I less than array.length, so which means the loop will continue from 0 to 5 and I++ will increment the I value. Now the second thing is, if you see the step 1 and step 2, start with the first element and we need to compare the element with the next element. So that we need to start with the first element and we need to compare rest of the elements. So for these elements, we have 5 elements except 10. So for that we need to have one more for loop statement. We can rename this I to j. You can see in this statement, I have array.length minus I minus 1. So the reason for this statement, we need to get the first element and we need to compare rest of the elements. So the loop count should be 5. So that's what, whenever the I value is increasing, we need to reduce the loop count in the nested for loop. Okay, I'm just copying these two comments. You can see the step 1 and step 2. We need to start from the first element and second step is compare the current element with the next element. Suppose if we are getting the first element as 10, we need to compare with the second element. So I'm using the if statement. Here what I'm doing is I just getting the first element and I'm just comparing with the next element. Okay, now the third step is, if the current element is greater than the next element, then we need to do the swapping. To do this, I'm just creating one integer property, int temp. I'm just holding the array of j in the temp variable. Now I'm doing the swapping. So here I'm just swapping the elements. Array of 0 would be a 4 and array of 1 would be a temp element, which means here 4 and here 10. Now the step 4 is move to the next pair of elements and repeat step 2 and 3. You can see here already we have implemented the for loop, so that once the iteration is completed for 10, so it will go for the next index, and then fifth step is continue this process until no more swaps are needed. So this iteration will be continued. There is no more elements are to be swapped. Okay, now let me run this code. Okay, you can see here after sorting we got the sorted array. If you like this video, please subscribe our YouTube channel and hit a like button. Thank you.